What is going on, everybody? Longhorns got another win. I'm excited. We're still in the hunt for the Big 12. As I'm looking at the standings right now, there are 3, 4, and 2 teams in the conference, including the Longhorns. Oklahoma State is 4-1. Iowa State is 5-1. The Longhorns still play Kansas State and Iowa State. Oklahoma's kind of still hanging around. Oklahoma does play Oklahoma State later in the season. The Longhorns control their own destiny here. If the Longhorns win out, they win the next 3 games. We will be in the Big 12 championship. It's not necessarily clear who they would play, but we don't really care about that. We just want to be in the game. We do have Justin here today. Throw a little wave, look cute for us real quick.
Yeah, I know. I'm beautiful. I'm way better looking than Dylan.
Me and Justin were at the game this weekend. It was awesome to be there. Justin, I think you kind of hit it when you were kind of talking about, I think both of us just assumed that we wouldn't go to any games this year. But it was awesome. We were able to get tickets last minute, able to go to the game. I wish it was more entertaining of a game. I don't know. Was it entertaining for you? Because I felt like it was so hard to watch.
I got what I wanted. So I was walking to the stadium, big guy, gas. I'm already tired getting to the seats. But I got what I wanted. I wanted a good game, and that's exactly what we got. 2 4th-down stops by Texas. We may get into that later, but it was great. I loved it, man.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, and I'm glad it was a good game, right? Like another down to the wire for us. The Longhorns every week, we can never just pull away and beat somebody. We never seem to. God, I don't know. I'm like so torn on how to feel because it's like we're winning games here. We're seeing some progress, but it's like I feel like if our coaching staff was better, they would find a way to pull away in these close games. They'd find a way to, take one of these good teams and just beat them, just flat out beat them. Whatever the second half adjustment is, whatever goes into that. And I feel like we're not getting what we should expect from, a 4th-year Tom Herman here at University of Texas. I know the offensive coordinator's new. I know the defensive coordinator's new. But there should be plenty of Tom Herman grown talent here that he should understand how to utilize and how to put in proper positions. And then as far as the offensive side goes, from what I'm hearing, this is not Mike Yurcich is calling the plays, but this is Tom Herman's offense. And so I really don't. Man, you put up 17 points in a Big 12 football game. I honestly don't know how we won with only putting up 17 points. I mean, it was crazy. You look at our use of Bijan Robison. Honestly, I want your opinion on the Bijan Robison thing. I see. It's almost like Tom Herman isn't coaching to save his job, and I don't understand that. If I totally get the whole saving a true freshman running back, if we were winning by like 20 or 30 points, like if we play Kansas next week after the bye, and it's 21-0 in the first quarter, and we don't see Bijan for the rest of the game, I totally get that. But I don't understand why we're not feeding our best running back and giving our offense the best chance that they can to consistently move down the field. And just, I don't know, man. You tell me. It looks obvious to me. Maybe it's not as obvious to somebody who isn't a Longhorn fan. You let me know what you think.
Outside perspective looking in, I don't understand why that dude's not on the field 90% of the offensive snaps. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm all about the workhorse life. I'm all about it. And at the college level, that's personally kind of hard to find. Bijan had 12 carries, and he had well over 100 yards.
He almost had 100 on the first carry.
I know, and that's insane. After that, as a coach, I'm looking in and I'm like, leave him in. He's staying in the whole game. We just ripped him for 60. I want another 60 from him. But
absolutely,
for some reason, they feel like they've got to feed, what's his name?
Roschon Johnson's number 2, Johnson? Yeah.
I don't know why they feel like he needs to be split carries because they're pretty much split down the middle. And it's a drastic difference in production between them. So as a coach, and like you said, I don't think Tom Herman's coaching his first job, but the college level is different for me. I think Tom Herman's great where he's at. I think he's continuing to produce, and he's going to get better. But you have to leave Bijan in. He is ridiculous at the running back position for you guys. He ripped. Y'all had one play get called back, and he had like maybe 3 4 yard gain, guaranteed 3 4 yard gain, and he turned that play into like a 15 or 20 yard gain before he barely stepped out of bounds.
The stiff arm down the
The,
sideline.
yeah,
Yeah.
the 20 yard stiff arm we were laughing at because it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But the guy is a monster. I don't understand how you don't feed the monster. I mean, you have to as a coach. So, offensively, I think y'all did a couple things right, which was try to throw the ball in the second half. However, like you talked about, y'all should have pulled away. I think that's all on Sam. Sam missed a lot of receivers in this game, a lot of deep receivers, and then he
did
had
in the
one where,
first half for sure.
yeah, I think Sam. They started throwing deep balls in the second half. From what I remember, it was like 2 drives, and they had 3 shots down the field within those 2 drives.
Mm.
And Sam completely underthrew 2 routes, and then he dropped one that was right in his receiver's bucket, and he dropped it. So
Tyreek Black dropped it. Yeah.
yes, so a couple things there for the offense. I really think y'all did well. Was like coaching wise. That's why I don't really have a problem with the coaching. Like you talked about coaching. The offense is there. I think Sam just couldn't produce. He had chances and he just didn't make those. Because if he makes those plays, this game is probably 35-13. If you know,
no, that's fair.
That's
fair.
personally my opinion outside looking in. But you have to leave Bijan on the field. Back to what we were talking about. You have to leave Bijan on the field.
Yeah, completely agree. And then the next thing I was going to ask you about was Sam Mellinger. So I'm glad you brought him up. Sam is a guy who's been a 4-year starter for a long time. Sam is a guy that, back when he was young, I envisioned a guy who was going to progress into a first-round draft pick. I really did. You look at what he can do as an athlete. You look at who he is as a leader, as a warrior. I thought that he would continue to progress and get better at throwing the football down the field and becoming more consistent with accuracy. What do you see as far as you said it in the stadium? You said he looks like the next Dak Prescott, and that's really scary for me. I don't know. I don't understand. I almost feel like there's been regression this season. Yeah, it's gotten worse, and I don't know. I said I hope for his sake he's playing through an injury right now, because that's really what it looked like. I mean, we saw just some of the ugliest passes we've seen from Sam over his whole career. From you, watching NFL games, watching NFL quarterbacks. I mean, does he even look like an NFL quarterback to you?
No, because Dak is way better than him. But as of right now, Sam does not look like a NFL quarterback. You said it in the stadium. His draft stock is falling.
Yeah, it is.
So, Sam did not look great. He's that. Honestly, Dak. It's weird because it's our teams, but he's that Dak Prescott style of quarterback. He could have been prior to this season, and if he continued to progress like you had talked about, he could have been that Deshaun Watson style quarterback in the NFL.
There you go.
That's a big leap, I think, right there.
That's a huge leap at this point. Yeah.
Yes. So, I think at this point in the season, Sam is kind of showing his true colors. He really only does the Deshaun Watson things when the game is on the line, most of the time, and that is a key quality from what I see out of a Dak Prescott-esque quarterback. So when the game is on the line and he's in the moment and he's focused and ready, he's gonna play lights out.
Yeah.
But that's
I'd rather play lights out for the first 3.5 quarters than just the very end and give everybody a heart attack. That's just me personally. It's been kind of sad. Hopefully, Sam can have a bit of a bounce back here. I think he did a lot when we asked him to run. He picked up a bunch of first downs, had some nice gains. Still very capable. I know that doesn't necessarily translate to the NFL. Ellinger is not a break away from you speedster type of guy. He's crafty. He'll find the lanes, but I don't know that. You watch Kyler Murray run around. I mean, they're two very, very different athletes. So I don't even know if you can say that he even compares to somebody like Dak as an athlete. And then let's talk about this defense for a little bit, man. We were talking about a edge defender for the Cowboys or some impact players There's a couple guys on this Longhorn team right now who are starting to really, really step up and become impact players. I love what I'm seeing from Overshone. Overshone wears number 0. He is the perfect prototype uh, outside linebacker, a safety hybrid guy. He's 6'4". He's probably about 220. If I had to guess, he probably runs in the 4.4 and the 40. This is a guy who transitioned to linebacker this year, so he didn't have a spring, he didn't have a training camp, but you put him on the field and he makes plays, and he's slowly getting better. Slowly learning how to play closer to the line of scrimmage. We saw huge plays. We saw one, there was a sack where he was completely unblocked, but you see the straight ahead speed on that one and how he was able to get home to the quarterback. And then Joseph Osai, obviously everybody around here knows who he is, and I'm really excited to see how he rises in draft stock and starts to get into the top 10 in some of these mock drafts, especially as the NFL Combine rolls around. Because I do think he is somebody that will test really well, his 40 time and all that. So how are you feeling as far as the defense? I mean, what did you see that you liked? Because we were at the stadium. I mean, it was awesome to see.
Yeah, and one of the best things about that sack was he was on our side of the field, so we really got to see like how athletic he is. And people are like, "Oh, he came free." Well, the boy can run, and he's
Yeah,
fast, he's
yeah.
long, he's lengthy, he's
He was shot
athletic,
out of a cannon. Yeah,
ridiculous. So I think for him, draft prospect wise, I really think he could be a first round pick. But defensively, Texas showed out against West Virginia. It was
yeah.
probably one of the best performances that I've seen from them in a long time.
There you
I
go.
am an
There you go.
NFL guy. I love the grinded out, low scoring in close games. I love that. So I love I love the way this game played out. I think the defense is honestly. Tom Herman talked about it in his after his as we're driving home in his little press conference. He says it. This D line, this front seven is our heart and soul. And then y'all proved it on 4th and 1 and 4th and inches twice.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic game to watch.
One of the best things I felt like, I remember saying this to you right before halftime, is I felt like they were calling the game. West Virginia's offense was calling the game. Like they were afraid of our D line. Like they were afraid of our front seven. They weren't trying to sit in there and throw deep balls. It was West Virginia's offense was like super annoying to watch. All the shifts, all the motions. They would motion a guy this way, then throw a screen, or it would be a halfback draw on like 3rd and 9. Like they they called the game as if they had no faith in their offensive line, which I think is a huge compliment to our front seven, kind of like you were saying.
Yeah, after like the 600th TV timeout at that point, after like the 600th TV timeout at that point in the game, you could definitely tell that like West Virginia was terrified to like leave their quarterback sitting in that pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say that is a credit to your D line because it was like 3rd and 15. We were laughing about it. It was like, oh, they got to throw the ball here, and then they just handed off to like the running back and they gained like 2. And I was like,
Yeah.
are they trying to win? Are they even trying to stay in this game at all? It was very weird from the West Virginia offensive coordinator. I don't know. It was just a
It
weirdly
was
called
weird. Yeah, it
game.
was definitely weird. And then the last thing I want to talk about, I know you kind of mentioned it earlier. I I want to ask, I guess, directly from what you see, is Tom Herman the guy going forward? If he doesn't win out, if he doesn't go to the Big 12, because that's kind of where everybody is right now. If Tom Herman wins the Big 12, he buys himself another year, another opportunity. Do you feel like if he were to lose, a couple games going forward, maybe just one of the games and not make it to the Big 12, do you think that the Texas staff will keep him around?
So this is where we need to drop a video about the college level and the NFL level. But I think colleges get in a rhythm of like if it within 3 years and you can't produce, you're gone. I don't think at a college level when it is a revolving door style of football,
Hmm.
you've got 3 year players most of the time if they're good,
Hmm.
4 year players if you're in the middle, right? Draft wise speaking,
Sure.
from a coaching standpoint, I want at least 4 years because I want my freshmen that I recruited got a full year to recruit to be that in that third year, right?
Right. Right. Oh,
So
he's at number 4 right now.
I know. So what I'm saying is I want at least 4 years.
Okay.
Tom Herman
Okay.
is trending in the right direction personally. You know, you
Okay.
have lost to an OU. This is a weird 2020 season. Nothing has been the same. Things are different for players. I think for Tom Herman will be a phenomenal coach if you guys keep him. I think he should be here. I think he deserves a full fourth year of regular football to determine if he stays
Okay.
here.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're
Because
saying.
the
Okay.
college level is at kind of like this weird where the Big Ten didn't start till just now. I mean,
Yeah.
and you know, I believe Texas was supposed to play a big name coming up early. I think it was like week 2 or 3. Y'all were supposed to
Yeah, we were
play.
supposed to play LSU.
Right,
Supposed to play LSU.
right. You're supposed to play a big name team, and if you think about this, if you guys end up playing LSU prior to LSU showing who they've been this year, it would have been a massive win, which brings that momentum. People talk about momentum in this game of football a lot.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
And so you're playing the prior national champion, and you probably come out and with the way LSU's played, clap them probably.
Probably would have smacked them.
Hopefully
Yeah.
clap them. And if you do that, I think it changes the mentality of this team. And then you're going into playing OU, and then you're going into playing those 4 overtime games that the University of Texas loves to give you guys. So that's my personal opinion. I think Tom Herman needs to stay, and he deserves a full year of regular football if we even get that at past this point.
And I do like that because a lot of these players, regardless of what year they're in, junior or senior, this year is a blank slate as far as their eligibility. So they will be coming back next year. The majority, I'd say, 98, whatever you want to put a number to it, 98% of this team will be coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if Joseph Osai and Sam Cosmi left, maybe a couple other guys, but for the most part, the majority of Tom Herman's team will be coming back, for a legit football season. So I kind of like that. I don't know that, again, one of the differences between college and the NFL is, the boosters, right? I don't know that the boosters see it that way. And I've said in videos before, if the money dries up, Tom Herman's gone. It doesn't necessarily matter, what you think, what I think, as far as, if we support Tom Herman or not. If the people making the money decisions don't agree, then he's out of here. So hopefully we can finish this season strong, go 3-0 after the bye week. They're going to be some tough games. A couple of them be real tough. We do play Kansas. Hopefully, we kind of talked about separating and beating teams. Hopefully, we give Kansas a good beating, and then make it to a Big 12 championship game. It would be awesome. All right, everybody, that's it from us today. We appreciate y'all checking out the channel, checking out the video. Y'all wouldn't mind, throw us a like, hit that sub button for us real quick. Hit the notification bell. I'm doing Longhorn videos. Justin's here. He's doing Cowboy videos all the time. Let us know what y'all think. We're trying a little bit of a collab for the Longhorns and Cowboys videos, trying to kind of mash, get both of us on the same video. Man-to-man football, bounce ideas, bounce opinions off of each other. I love it because Justin's not a Longhorn fan. I'm not a Cowboy fan, and so we can kind of sit in and give a backseat perspective to the conversations going on. I think it's great. But yeah, that is it from us today. So I appreciate y'all. Welcome.